Grand Rising, all fire starters.
Feel the fire.
What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? Good morning, Grand Rising, whatever you want to call it. Shake it up to wake it up. Make sure you roll it up if you bake it up. And with that being said, man, what's good with everybody up in here? Everybody coming into the Fire Flame Pit, man. Appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support and everything that we got going on over here, man. It's a lot going on right now in the United States of America as we speak, man. Government shutdowns, all kinds of legislations, new laws being passed right up under our noses, under our feet, and over our heads. Not only that, man, shout out to everybody in the Carolinas, everybody down south, everybody that's going through this situation with this hurricane. It's a lot of shit going on, y'all. All right. So before we get into everything, you know what I mean? It's a lot of damage in the Carolinas, man. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on right now, man. And we'd like to send our prayers to everybody who is weathering the storm. You heard? No matter what storm it is, whether it's a physical storm, a mental storm, a spiritual storm, keep your prayers up and you will weather the storm at all times. At all times, man. And we'd like to send our condolences to the people who done lost their lives, people that done lost their homes. You know, when you lose your home, that's deep, man. People build their life, build their family, build their foundation, build their build their uh foundation and structure themselves in their home, man. You know what I mean? And Mother Nature playing its part. Shout out to everybody that's coming up in here, man. What's good with you? Rodney Buck Hunter. See you change your name up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out everybody that's coming up in here, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Just wanted to speak on that situation that's going down in the Carolinas, man, before we even get this show underway, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Nah, I mean, but where my fire starters at? Y'all know the flame, y'all know the drill. All new flamers and original fire starters, hawkers, walkers, and stalkers coming into the fire pit. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all stomp. Make sure y'all step. And definitely make sure y'all stand all over that notification bell. And how can y'all wake up every day, put both feet on the floor, go in the bathroom, look yourself in the mirror, wash your face spiritually, religiously, or whatever you claim you stand on without hitting that subscribe button? Because the fire starters, hawkers, walkers, and stalkers, we stomp, step, and stand on real morals and traditional principles. And let's just talk about it for 1 minute, y'all. Okay? Because ain't nothing morally sound. Nothing nowhere near traditional. Nobody is paying this any attention. But the fire starters is definitely is. Now, peep the game, yo. All right? We about to tear this shit up this morning the best way we know how. First and foremost, we'd like to say RIP to Stacks. You heard? RIP the Stacked Bundles. Far Rockaway very own. Far Rock America. RIP Chinks Drugs. RIP Chinks. All right? But like I said, let's start off with a little bit of common knowledge and a little bit of common sense. All right, now it was back in the mid 2000s, everybody. A lot of people was around during this time, and a lot of new generational people that's in hip hop wasn't around at this time. But you could go back and dig, get your resources, do your research, get your knowledge, and get your history, and everything will pave the way for you moving forward. And with that being said, man, it was back in the mid 2000s when Dipset, Cameron, Jewel Santana, Jim Jones, and the rest of them, Hell Rail, J.R. Ryder, Max B, etc., 40 Cal, Duke the God, Bezel, Jaja. We can keep going and going and going and going and going. All right. But with that being said, y'all, like I said, ain't nothing morally sound. Nowhere near traditional. When Jim Jones branched off to start this bird gang situation, we about to drop some facts here because it's just what the motherfucking title say. My bad for the misspelling of East Coast. I'm moving all fast. You know how it is on these computers, keyboards, on your phone and on the laptop. You might skip a letter or might put a letter first before another letter. That's how it is when you typing. It's a different scenario from writing when you typing. I'm just keeping it 100. Now, I mean, sometimes you'll put a letter that come before a letter, or you think that you put a letter up there and you never really went back and double checked the shit. But anyway, what's understood ain't got to be explained, man. But when Jim Jones branched off, shout out everybody up in here, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. All right, we coming in early with a strategic motherfucking live this morning. We ain't here to play with them. Early morning, because you know why? It's a lot of YouTube personalities, fraudulent, fake ass niggas that ain't holding down the morning like they should. The morning shows are dead. The YouTube morning shows are dead. It was a couple of niggas that had the wave on the morning shows, but they fell. They in the garbage. They in the basement. So we here to shake them up and wake them up early, every day, every day. Because when people wake up in the morning, when they get ready to start their day, they should have something energetic to go off of. They should have something that they could constantly work and get a peace of mind and get a collective train of thought on what's really going on, especially if they're into hip hop, especially if they're into conspiracies, especially if they're into what's going on out there with the far rock politics. All right. Now, like I said, y'all, when Jim Jones branched off and did his bird game, MOB, we going to talk some facts this morning. No, we are not in vertical. So we have to work hard manually. And the reason why we're not in vertical this morning is because the vertical format do not allow you to share the things that need to be shared, how they need to be shared in the vertical format. The vertical format is just for you basically to run your mouth. You can't really show shit, really. You can't really pull up any receipts on the vertical format. So I had to come standard. I had to come with this presentation in order to bring the receipts. All right, so I need everybody to hit the like button, drop your fire and TVs in the chat. Let's get in the algorithm so we can let everybody know we live, so this informative information can reach who it needs to reach. Shout out everybody that's up in here, man. I appreciate y'all joining me this morning. A lot of people don't even know that we live. Like I said, man, we strategic. Now, it was back in the mid 2000s when Jim Jones branched off and started this bird gang movement, y'all. In this bird gang situation. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to the people that's on this album cover. Let me zoom it and presume it for you. Let me zoom it and presume it for you. All right? Shout out the whole nation. All right? Everybody get a nice look at that. Bird gang, right? Now, if you look at these members in Bird gang, who do y'all see? Some of these new generational people don't even know these people up here. Some of these new generational rappers, niggas that's running around in the streets with shitty ass draws, don't even know what this shit be about. They have no idea. But we have Jim Jones. We have Max B. We have Mel Murder, Mel Matrix, who just came home from the feds. And we have Stack Bundles, ladies and gentlemen. This was the Bird Gang. This was the Bird Gang. And can we all admit, let's get back to strategic collectiveness. Ain't nothing morally sound, nowhere near traditional, because we stand on principles. These were supposed to have been Jim Jones artists, y'all. This supposed to have been the next up. The same way how Cameron put Jewels and Jim Jones in position. Jim Jones was supposed to have put Max B, Mel Murder, and Stack Bundles in position. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Yeah, follow me. Follow me for a minute. Walk with me. Shout out Cyrus. What's good with you? Appreciate you for joining us this morning. Now, like I said, man, a lot of people have no idea about this bird gang movement, but it's one thing for sure, two things for certain, and three things for damn sure and for certain. Something happened to every member of this bird gang situation, except who? Strategic drop. Let's go. Yeah, we about to warm it up. We gotta rev the engine up a little bit. Like I said, y'all, we gotta talk facts for a minute. We gotta slow the motherfucking roll. Because Jim Jones has been getting a lot of passes out here lately. And like I said, man, I fuck with the boy. I fuck with his music. I fuck what he doing for the culture. Don't get that twisted. I was listening to Jim Jones last night. Okay? Don't get that twisted from him being the person that he is from the artist that we engage with. It's two different personalities. It's not the same. They are not the same. So, yes, I engage with Jim Jones, the artist, all day long. No cap. But as Jim Jones, the person, I don't fuck with Jimmy. Jimmy is a snake. Jimmy is a rat. Jimmy leave his peoples fucked up. Now, like I said, Bird Gang, M.O.B., Jim Jones, Max B, Mel Murder, Stack Bundles. Who just got out of jail? Mel Murder, right? Mel Murder, right? Hold on. Let me play something for everybody right quick as we get all into this because I want the best to do this.
Who is that? Jim Jones? Who is that? Rapper. Did Jim Jones, to your knowledge, have any affiliation with 9 Trey? Yes. Please explain.
Hear that? Last foreign I brought just had to spend a week at customs.
Let's start with Mel Murder. Ms. Harney, could you please publish, with the court's permission, what's in evidence as Government Exhibit 7? Do you recognize the person depicted in Government Exhibit 7? Yes. Who is that?
Shit.
Mel Murder.
When the feds scared to death, was nervous, nigga. The sounds was loud, but shit, that money had his hearing deaf. He couldn't hear. They caught a op not looking, shit. Now we gotta stare at death. Look at that.
Yes. Who is that?
Shit.
Mel Murder.
When the feds snatched Melly up, I was scared to death. Was nervous, nigga. The sounds was loud, but shit, that money had his hearing deaf. He couldn't hear.
He said when the Fed snatched Melly up, pay attention. Ain't nobody peeping the game. Now, this was his last album that he just dropped. Coincidentally, with a coinky dink, right before Mel came home. As we hear him say, it's been 7 years since I seen Shotty. It's been 7 years since I seen Melly. Not only that, he said when the Fed snatched Melly up, he was scared to death. Now, like I said, shout out Miss Flo, man. Angela, that dog, man. What's good with you, man? Grand Rising. I know it's early on the West, man. Appreciate you for being here this morning. For real. The love is undeniable. Miss Flo, what's up with you? And the rest of the fire starters, hawkers, walkers, and stalkers that's coming up in here, man. I appreciate all the love and all the support. I appreciate everybody that's rocking with me with the memberships. I do. Hold on 1 second. My apologies for that. Appreciate everybody again for coming up in here. Everybody joining me this morning, man. I appreciate all the love and all the support, man. We about to take a whole nother spin over here at GFTV, man. All right, but like I said, This bird gang situation that Jim Jones created was supposed to have been a similar situation, just like how Cameron set up Jim Jones and Jewels. We see Cameron come in with his solo shit, and then we seen Cameron bring in the diplomats. You seen the merging of the diplomats and how everything went with that situation, right? But the difference is with Cameron and Jim Jones, Cameron already had like 3 albums out before he actually formed the Diplomat Show. Cameron had Confessions of Fire, SDE, Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment. Okay. And he had Come Home With Me. And about time his 3rd album, Cameron, that is, when he signed to Rockefeller with the Come Home With Me, Diplomats was already formed as a unit. Okay, but the difference is with Jim Jones and Bird Gang, Jim Jones only had 1 album out, y'all. All right. And it ain't come through Rockefeller. It actually never came through the diplomats far as paperwork go, even though he was rocking the logo and he was still branding with the bird and the dipset and all that, he never got paid from that whole situation and the part that he played with Dipset. And we'll get into that, all right, a little bit later. But what's crazy is, like I said, everybody under this Dipset shit, right? Bird Gang was supposed to blow. Jim Jones was supposed to put him in position. Like now, like I said, we got Max B. He goes down for the situation he got himself into with the robbery, home invasion, kidnap the situation, and Jim Jones wound up bailing him out. Not only did Jim Jones wind up bailing him out, they wound up having a beef also over money, business, paperwork. Shit wasn't structured right. All right, so like I said, that's 3 individuals now. And I didn't even bring up Stack yet. Okay, so we got Jim Jones, the leader of Bird Gang. We got Max B. We got Mel Murder. And we got Stack Bundles. R.I.P. Raekwon Elliott, man. All right. Now, a lot of people believe that Jim Jones got his whole swag, his whole demeanor, his whole oomph from Stack Bundles. This is where everybody really show y'all something here. Okay. You see the similarities in these artists, yo. A whole lot. Now, like I'm saying, now, like I said, man, Stack Bundles wind up getting shot and killed in his projects, in his city, in his neighborhood of Far Rockaway, Queens, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And from what resources have been saying with research, and everything aligned with it, they're saying that Jim Jones left Stack Bundles in a fucked up situation. And we can believe that because we know Jim Jones left Max B in a fucked up situation, right? We see how Jim Jones left Mel Murder in a fucked up situation, right? Right? Shout out everybody up in here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Can we get the views to match the lights and the lights to match the views respectfully? Now, like I said, this situation with Bird Gang is dark. It's haunting. And the reason why I say it's dark and it's haunting is because literally Max B got sent off, okay? Supposed to did 75 years. Now he on his way home. He got less than 30 days left. All right. Proffer agreements. Everybody signed their proffer agreements. All right. Now that's a different story for a different day. But it's the reason why this proffer agreement has been signed. It's the reason why Max B signed this proffer agreement. It's a reason why Mel Murder is also on the ground. Okay. Now, like I said, y'all, Max B got sent up. Mel Murder got sent up. Stack Bundles lost his life. Max B and Stack Bundles. Everybody give the We Fly High balling credit to Max B writing that song. Stack Bundles wrote Ballin', Jim Jones' biggest hit. Max B only helped out with the hook. Ballin' was written by Stack Bundles. Okay? Ballin' was written by Stack Bundles. Max B only helped with the hook. Only helped with the hook. That Stack Bundles song. Now, remind y'all, before Stack got killed, y'all, Stack was trying to get out of Far Rockaway. It's going to get deep this morning. Street politics and all. We coming with it. Stack was trying to get out of Far Rockaway, yo. Okay? Because he had situations that was going on out there in Far Rockaway with real street dudes. He was really in the streets. He was really moving around like that. Okay? He was a street nigga that just so happens to rap. Okay? Now, like I said, Stack Bundles was never actually signed to Bird Gang. No paperwork. None of that. Nothing. Stack Bundles never inked a deal with Jim Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Stack Bundles never inked the deal. It was just word of mouth shit. It was just word of mouth shit. And let me put y'all on some game, y'all. Okay? Now, Max B had just caught that charge for that situation he got into. He left Max B in jail. He wasn't trying to bail Max B out. A lot of people have no idea he didn't bail out Max B until after Stacks got knocked down. He ain't had no urgency to go get Max B. It was after Stack Bundles got knocked down, and they're saying that Stack Bundles was getting ready to leave the Bird Gang. And Jim Jones didn't want that. Because for the ones who don't know, Stack Bundles was an up and coming hip hop sensation in New York. He was first signed with DJ Clue, Desert Storm, and what they had going on over there. His mixtapes was flame. Everything he had going on was flame. Shout out everybody up in here. Okay? So, Max B is on his way home. Now, let me tell y'all something, man. They said that it's a federal indictment that the feds is getting ready to smack Jim Jones with him influencing a whole East Coast generational blood movement, y'all. They are about to consider Jim Jones one of the major Godfather influencers far as the whole UBN movement. Do y'all know what the UBN movement is? We're not talking West Coast Bloods. We're talking East Coast Bloods. And we all know the history behind all that. But being as though Jim Jones put it all on a pedestal, he put it on a platform. This is what makes this situation bad for Jimmy. They about to come back and get him. Because let me tell y'all something. All right? There's a lot of things going on out in the streets. A lot of shit is being said about what's going on behind the scenes. Now, we all know Mel Murray just came home from that situation with the 9 Trey Bloods, that situation with Tekashi and all that. But not only that, y'all, Mel Murder also got indicted and charged for moving heroin, fentanyl, crack, cocaine, marijuana, you name it. Okay? And we all heard Jim Jones on that phone call with Mel Murder talking about the situation with Tekashi and what happened. Jim Jones never got indicted. And Jim Jones continues to speak it in his music and say, okay, how they claim that they was fake Bloods and he had to spin for the whole East Coast. He's putting this in his music. Not only that, he's putting in his music that he's the capo. He's putting in his music that he set the movement. And not to mention it's all documented. All right? But with that being said, what's up, Miss Day? I see you up in here, Indian Summer. What's up with you? Trying to get seen in these YouTube streets on the morning show on the East, man, because these morning shows in the morning are dead. Niggas had the ball in their court and they dropping the ball, bro. Niggas had the morning on lock. I'm looking at they shit. I'm like, yo, what are they doing over there? They should be on 1,000 right now. They should be on 100,000 right now. You've been going live every morning for like 2-3 years straight, same time every day, nigga. The fuck you doing? The fuck you doing? You got the whole wide world. You got the whole America or your whole following waking up to you every morning faithfully. And you can't present nothing different with your presentation. That's sad. So I'm here to try to resurrect the morning strategically, give people something to wake up to, give something people to work to, go about their day, get their day started, something to think about. Shout out the nation. Yeah, YouTube is definitely dead. It's definitely dead. Niggas is drowning out here, bro. They drowning out here. They can't hold the float. They cannot hold afloat, bro. They need lifesavers. And I ain't talking about the gummy ones. They need lifesavers. And I ain't talking about the hard candy. They can't swim in open water. They can't swim in dark waters. It's sad. It's sad what's going on in the YouTube streets. People that's been holding this shit down for years ain't got no identity, ain't got no creativity, ain't putting back in their brand, ain't investing in their brand, ain't investing in themselves, ain't investing in their platform. They ain't doing shit with nothing. Shout out Ronnie, man. What's good with you? All the way from GA, man. Appreciate you, Angela, for the $5 super sticker super chat. Thank you for endorsing and sponsoring this Grand Rising Live this morning, man. Appreciate all your love, all your support. I do, man. All right, now, like I said, I find it very odd and very strange that this bird gang movement that Jim Jones put together, y'all, all the members, 2 of them went to jail. 1 is dead. And Jim Jones keep hopping and skipping all over jail. And for the ones who like, what you mean? He keep hopping and skipping all over jail. Okay? Because let's talk about that shit that happened out there in Atlanta. How he ain't get no jail time for that shit. And we know an average motherfucker would have got jail time for it, right? Like I said, yo, we gotta lay down some facts for a minute. We gotta lay down some facts for a minute. We talk about down in Atlanta now. Down in Atlanta. Every rapper in Atlanta that got caught with a gun. Y'all see this, right? The 42-year-old rapper copped a generous plea deal. Strategic drop, a generous one. What? So you mean to tell me y'all take these niggas on a high-speed chase with 2 loaded guns, Oxycontin, perks, vape cartridges, cash, loaded guns, all kinds of shit. And they give you a generous fucking plea. Who you think you talking to? How many people in Atlanta right now been caught with 2 guns? It took a generous plea deal with 2 years probation. Let me know. Let me know one motherfucker in Atlanta that took the police on a high-speed chase with 2 loaded guns in the car, weed, perks, oxycodone, cash, all that shit, you name it. It don't do no fucking jail time for it. Jim Jones dodges jail time. And like I said, man, even when the federal indictment hit, see, it's the reason why they didn't stain Jim Jones at that reason. It's the reason why when they picked up Melly, Shotty, and all these other individuals, it's the reason why Jim Jones didn't get picked up at that time. And I'm about to break it down to y'all strategically. It's the reason why. Okay? It's the reason why. Check it out. Because it was in February 2017 that Jim Jones did this Rock Nation deal, right? Now, we all know Rock Nation is federal. Don't we know that? Don't we know that? Hold on. See something here. Check this shit out, y'all. Check it out. When they catch the indictment, strategic drop. When they catch the indictment, wake up. Let's go. I'm about to stand on y'all niggas, bro. No diddy. Drop your fire TVs in the chat. I'm about to break this shit down. I'm about to break this shit down. Nobody don't see a motherfucking thing what's going on here. But I got y'all. I got y'all. Trust me, because it was right before the feds came in on a 9-tray situation with the Tekashi, with the Mel murder, with the Shotty and everything that's involved with it. Jim Jones skipped that indictment. Jim Jones dodged that indictment, didn't he? And the reason why he dodged that indictment is because of this Rock Nation management deal that he just signed with Rock Nation. Okay? You see, a lot of people don't see the play, but we see the motherfucking play, Jimmy. And I'm going to fuck you up strategically. Because like I said, I fuck with your music as an artist, but I don't fuck with you as a real life person, bro. I don't respect the shit you stand on. I don't respect how you did Stack Bundles Legacy. I don't respect how you did Max B and how you handle that business situation. And I definitely don't respect how the fuck you did Mel Murder, how you gave him that little ass 5 chain like he your fucking son. What we got going on here, bro? What we got going on here, bro? When Mel Murder could have easily said your name, my nigga. Mel Murder could have easily said your name, my nigga, and had you all wrapped up in that shit. But let's talk about it, even if Mel Murder did say his name, because we know for a fact Jim Jones' name is all up in this shit. You can't deny it. Shout out everybody up in here. Please hit that like button. Let's go. Let's go. I don't give a fuck if it's 20 people up in here. It's still going to be the same energy. That's what separates GFTV from the rest of the platform. We here to do this. Now, like I said, nobody is paying attention. This bird gang situation that Jim Jones was creating, something happened to every member except him. Something happened to every member of this bird gang situation except Jim Jones. And what do you know? Like I said, I ain't trying to go all the way off the Richter scale because we definitely gonna shake shit up this morning strategically. I ain't trying to go off the Richter scale, but if you look at the symbolism on this album, bruh, if you look at Jim Jones with his One Eye Willie theme, right? But if you look, one of those eyes is darkened and blacked out, right? You only see one eye, right? Hit the like button, strategic drop. You only see one eye, right? Okay. And if you do your research in the past with a whole lot of other individuals that include this type of symbolism in their creativity and in their artwork, creatively, far as music goes, we already know what it is and what it ain't. We ain't got to go through all this and all that, man. We know them niggas is lined up with the secret societies, allegedly. Okay? And we know for a fact that Jim Jones was in a major public beef with Jay-Z for years. For years. And soon as Jim Jones signs this Rock Nation deal, this is when the feds come, yo. Okay? Check it out. Tafano Shotty Jordan was indicted along with several other alleged members of non-trade gangsters on racketeering and firearm charges in November 2018. He was accused of being a high-ranking member of the gang and faced charges related to a 2018 gunpoint robbery in Manhattan and a shooting in Brooklyn at the Barclays. With the situation that happened with Casanova, when Tekashi crew got into it with Casanova's crew. And who else went down in that federal indictment that was signed to Rock Nation? Casanova. Strategic drop. One of the fucking best to do this. Now, in March 2019, Jordan, and we ain't talking Michael, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of using a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence. He was later sentenced to 15 years in prison. Don't y'all know? For the ones who don't know, the whole time Shotty been locked down, the whole time Mel has been locked down, Jim Jones hasn't been up there to see them niggas not one time. Let's talk about that. The whole time Mel Murder was locked up in the Fed, Jim Jones ain't go to see the nigga one time. And we know if you got certain charges, if you have felonies and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's certain protocols you have to go by, far as the visiting protocols and shit like that. But let's talk facts for a minute. That's not stopping you for still going, still sending your team in there. You can wait in the parking lot, nigga. You can send your team in there. You can wait in the parking lot. At least let your presence be known that you are supporting your man while he going through that situation. Okay? Now, like I said, man, I ain't trying to get off the topic, but we have to break these situations down in order to bring this shit together strategically and mold it, bro. We got to get all concepts and everything that's going on from every which way. Okay? Now, like I said, Atlanta, where the fuck y'all at? Stand up. GA, stand up. As a matter of fact, every street nigga in every city, in every state, on every back road, in the deep woods, in the country, down in the barns, in the ditches, wherever you standing at in America. Let me see you go on a high-speed chase with the Atlanta Police Department, and you be caught with 2 loaded guns, oxycodones, perks, and all this shit in the car, and see if your ass don't go to jail. See if your ass don't get sent up. See if you don't get sent up. And like I said, bro, I got so many people that could stamp this shit. I got so many people that can co-sign that something ain't right with this situation. All right? Jim Jones dodges jail time and in weapons and gun case. Okay? Weapons and gun case, drug case, all that. Okay? Now, like I said, man, it's a lot that was being said about the stack bundles situation. Before Stack Bundles got knocked down, y'all, he was trying to get out of Far Rockaway. All right, he was really in the streets. They say he was moving around. He was doing some things, man. A lot of people started getting jealous of his come up, started getting jealous of his hate because of what he had going on musically. You know what I'm saying? So he started getting a lot of hate from people in his hood, so-called people that smiled in his face. All right. Now it was like a couple of days or something, probably like a week or two, not that long. Okay. Somebody kept vandalizing Stack Bundles' car. Now, Stack Bundles lived in the middle of Redfern projects, man. For the ones who don't know. While Stack Bundles was allegedly signed to Bird Gang, he still was living in Redfern projects. While he wrote Jim Jones' biggest record of his career, the #1 song in the world, all on the radio and everything. The person who wrote the song is still living in the projects, while Jim Jones is getting all the credit for it. Okay? Now, the crazy thing about it, y'all, all right, it's a lot going on with this situation. I don't want to go too far ahead. I don't want to go too far to the left or to the right. All right, I want to try to cover this as accurately as I can. Okay? especially when we dealing with somebody like Stacks. All right, the self-proclaimed gorgeous gangster, Far Rockaway's very own, man. All right, and it was said that Stack Bundles had wrote a lot of Jim Jones shit. When Stack died, Jim Jones had all Stack Bundles material, a lot of his fucking material, bro. A lot of his material that Stack made for himself, Jim Jones took for himself after Stack died. That Ballin', We Fly High, that was Stack Bundles' song. He gave that song to Jim Jones. Jim Jones promising him all kinds of broken promises that never came to fruition. Jim Jones was supposed to give Stack some bread, bro. And Stack kept putting it off. I mean, excuse me. Jim Jones kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. They said the night he got killed, Jim Jones was supposed to meet him in the club. To get the money. And we also heard Jim Jones say on interviews that right before Stack died, he talked to Stacks, and Stacks was supposed to went to the bank the next day and got $25,000 out the bank. Bro, that's cap. That's bullshit. That's a lie. Because the next day was Sunday. Stack went to the club Saturday night. He got killed late Saturday, early Sunday morning. Jim Jones claimed that he told Stack to go to the bank the next day. How? When the next day was Sunday. The next day was Sunday. The bank's not even open on a motherfucking Sunday. Shout out the whole nation, man. I appreciate y'all. Okay? Now, it's an interview that was done, man. It's an interview that was done by a member of Bird Gang. And she go by the name Jaja, man, and she was exposing it all. She was exposing it all on what Stacks was telling her, what was going on with him and Jim, what was going on with his situation, and why she also left Bird Gang because of how Jim Jones did Stack Bundles. Okay? But let's hit the like button, drop y'all fire and TVs in the chat, man. All right? Because we're about to go up.
So let's get to the, so when did the issues with you and Jim get started?
So that's what you're doing, Flip? That's what you're doing, G Money?
I mean, let's just talk about it, man.
Wait, hold up. What you mean that's what we doing? What you thought? What you been drinking on, nigga? You forgot what you thought? Yeah. Talking all that shit, I watched it. You talking a lot of shit. You was in the dress in the studio. I watched it today.
I was popping shit.
I didn't want to go that route, but you was calling niggas out the name. You talking about you named them. We gave you was Jimmy. We gave you Jim Jones and all that. Yeah, we heard that. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I ain't really gonna get all in that, but the problems really occur with, like, honestly, it wasn't monetary with Jim. Like, a lot of people don't know why I kind of disappeared from that situation, but for lack of better, and like, not to, Jim knows the personal. It's personal. Like, Jim knows the reason why I removed myself from that situation. Only thing I could say is I didn't appreciate how he handled the Stack Bundle situation. And you know, me and Stacks is real close. It's a lot of things that I knew that was going on. A lot of things I felt like he could have prevented, and you know, I feel like he didn't.
A lot of things. Jim knew a lot of things that was going on and a lot of things he could have prevented. But let's continue because this is Jaja, the first lady of Dipset. Okay? But when she found out the paperwork and all that shit wasn't right and how Jim Jones was trying to finesse her, like he finessed Max B and everybody else, she stepped off and said, nigga, you could keep that shit.
Handle his situation the right way, pre and post his death. So
wait, hold up.
Wow.
So time out. So let's slow down here because that kind of caught me by surprise. So that was the personal reason, or you said that the reason that you stopped messing with Jim is personal? So you
no, I mean, I'm not gonna go into detail of the like what about that situation, but pretty much like.
Okay,
you know,
so
it wasn't about no money or nothing. Money, you can get money back. I can't get my nigga. I can't get him back. Like it wasn't never about no money. Like if that's the case, I'd be shitting on everybody if it was, because I never got paid for nothing that I did, and I still was doing records, and I could have been a real bitch and sued niggas because everything that I've done is copyrighted. Like I own that. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm the first person.
She never got paid from nothing she did. Okay? And she also revealed why they were on tour with Jim Jones, y'all. Jim Jones was getting 25 to 30 stacks a show. She said that she was the highest paid member. And that was only $300. She said Jim Jones was giving Max B and Stack Bundles like $100 and $150 and shit like that out of 25 and 30 rack show. Out of 25 and 30 racks, this supposed to be your Bird Gang crew, your Bird Gang niggas, yo. And listen what I'm telling y'all. He's giving Max B $150, Mel Murder $150, and Stack Bundles $150. Stack Bundles went on tour with Jim Jones. And the reason why he went on tour with Jim Jones and it had nothing to do with no paperwork, it had nothing to do with no money. Bob this Stack Bundles was into it with some niggas in his hood. They shot his Porsche up and shit. Okay? So he went on the road with Jimmy. Jimmy made him some promises. Okay? And come to find out this man ain't even got enough money to stay financially stable while he's on the road with a multi-platinum artist with the #1 song in the world at that time. All right, but let's continue, y'all. All right, shout out everybody that's coming up in here, man.
Who owns Get From Around Me. I never got no royalties off that. I'm the first person who copywrote and trademarked What You Been Drinking On. Way before Puff got on it. And I could have sued niggas like for that, for using my name and likeness. And I never did because I'm like, yo, like they gave me an opportunity. I ain't even gonna take that type of whole ass route like that. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for, you know what I mean, you recognize me from being with Dipset or being a part of, you know, Jim's situation. So I wasn't going to go that route. You feel me? It's just, when that happened, I couldn't really vibe with homie like that no more.
But wait, I have to stop you. Sorry, I have to. So now knowing both of them, I knew Stack longer, knowing both of them, what I remember is that, first of all, I'm not going to sit here and act like I knew the inside as far as the business dealing between the Stack and Jim. I won't do that. But I did remember hearing that Jim asked Stack to moved from Far Rock and live in Jersey.
That's a lie.
Hold on. I did remember hearing that, and not from Jim.
Okay, so we done heard about allegedly Jim Jones, like I was explaining, that Stack Bundles was trying to get up out of the hood. He was into it with some niggas. It was some shit going on, and he was coming to Jimmy because Jimmy came to him and was like, closed mouths don't get fed. Let me know what you need. I got you, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. We all know Stack Bundles is a grown man. He stand on his own shit. Okay, but he swallowed his pride and he went and asked Jim Jones for a couple of favors. Not only that, Jim Jones wanted Max B. Check this out. Jim Jones wanted Stack B, Stack Bundles, excuse me. All right. Stack Bundles, Max B, and Mel Murder all to live in the same house. He wanted them all to live in the same house. When Stack Bundles said, bro, I need to get up out of the hood. I need to, I gotta maneuver different. I can't be up out of here. I can't be out here no more. I can't be up in the middle of this shit no more. Jim Jones wanted the man to move in, okay, with two other individuals. Okay, he wanted him to move in a house with Mel Murder and Max B. Okay, and Stack Bundles, he been on his fucking own since he was a teenager. Not to remind you, he had his own crib in the projects. So why would he want to live with two other grown ass men? Make it make sense, Jim Jones. Would you want to live with two grown ass men? What if Cameron would have said you move in the house with Joel Santana and Freaky Zeke, and you're a grown ass man? You got kids, you got a lady, you got a family, you got shit going on. How that look? You'll look at Cam and you'll want to smack the shit out of him, right? So why would you offer that proposition to one of your artists? Make it make sense. But that's the loophole he tried to continue to hold Stack Bundles in. You heard? That's the loophole and the false promises and the false narrators that he kept spinning on Stack Bundles, making it seem like he was going to do something for him. Okay, but when he offered to do something for him, it's strings attached. It's other shit attached. It's other shit going on. You see what I'm saying? It's all kind of bullshit being stirred in the pot. Okay, but let's continue, y'all.
What if you speak to Bino or whatever, he loved Far Rockaway. So, and if you know him, he'll tell you he loved Far Rockaway.
Yeah, he loved Far Rockaway, but at that point in time, he was trying to get out of Far Rock. I know that personally for a fact myself.
You know that personally for a fact?
I know that personally.
At that point in time that he was trying to get out?
He was going through issues, and he was reaching out to niggas to help him get out of that situation. You see what I'm saying? So.
What, street issues?
Yeah, he's having street issues. You know what time it was, Flip?
No, hold up. So come on, we ain't doing no conspiracy things here, man.
Nah, it ain't no conspiracy.
Hold on, we ain't doing no conspiracy.
Now
to separate the cups. We ain't doing no conspiracy things here. With all due respect, if he did reach out, not reached out, because when Stack was going through something, I met MA and Stack by King's Plaza. I don't need to get into that, but so that probably was the time he was going through something. But what happened with him?
What I'm telling y'all is, it's niggas that's supposed to be Stack's man, Stack homie, that know what was going on and actually know what the drop is. And they not saying nothing. It's a lot of niggas out in Far Rockaway. And shout out Far Rockaway because we know how street politics is. We know what it is and what it ain't. And we know how shit go. Some niggas respect it. Some niggas reject it. But at the same time, we got to speak facts. We got to talk about it because there's a lot of people in Far Rock that knows what happened to Stack. There's a lot of people in Brooklyn that knows what happened to Stack. It's a lot of people in Queens that knows what happened to Stack. Not to mention up in Harlem, and some niggas know what happened to Stacks up in Harlem, and some niggas know what happened to Stacks up in Harlem, and that's a fact. Okay, that's a fact. Now we just heard Flip Queens Flip say, okay, he met Stack and somebody at a certain location when Stack was going through it, but they don't need to get all into it. So why you bring it up? Why you bring it up? So a lot of niggas know what Stack Bundles was into. Ain't nobody step on that front line. Ain't nobody try to protect Stacks either. You know what I'm saying? Stack Bundles supposed to be protected, bro. He wasn't protected enough at all. Who the fuck knew Stack Bundles was on his way from the club? They say Jim Jones knew. They said when Stack Bundles, y'all, was in the club, he ran into some Dipset niggas while he was in the club that night. One of these Dipset members is supposed to be Freaky Zeke, allegedly. That Stack Bundles ran into. Okay? But right before Stack Bundles went to the club that night, y'all, he stopped by the studio to see Jim Jones. He stopped by the studio to see Jim Jones about that money Jim Jones was supposed to give him, bro. Jim Jones spent them around, looped them. All right? Allegedly supposed to met him at the club that night and never showed up at that club. Stack Bundles come home for Rockaway in his projects, one way in, one way out in Redfern. If y'all know about Redfern projects, y'all know it's one way in, one way out that bitch. Stack Bundle had all his toys, all his cars, everything parked out there. You see what I'm saying? It was like he was too close for comfort. He was just too comfortable where he was at to be in the situation that he was in. But he had no choice. Because I'm quite sure if he could have maneuvered, he would have got out of that situation himself. He wouldn't even need Jim Jones. But they said that before this situation happened, y'all, he went to go see Jim Jones at the studio. Now, why Jim Jones is going around telling everybody that Stats called him up, told him he was in a situation. All right, boom. What you need? Fuck it. Just go to the bank. Go to the bank. 25 tomorrow. 25,000. He make it sound so simple and so easy when it wasn't all that simple and it all wasn't that easy. And we know dead man can't talk. Okay? So they said that Stacks was being watched all that day, that whole day, from the time he woke up and stepped out of Red Fern Projects. All right. He was marked for death. He was marked for death. Okay. They killed him right in his lobby. Right in his lobby. Soon as he walked in the building, they was right there waiting on him. Right there waiting on him. Okay. And like I said, man, it's something to think about, because this whole Bird Gang movement, where is Bird Gang at now? What do MOB stand for? Okay, street code, member of Bloods. But he says what? Members of Bird Gang, right? Every member of Bird Gang went down. One dead. Nothing happens to him. And like I said, something just ain't adding up, especially with this indictment that these 9 Trey Bloods had caught. And Jim Jones was all in the middle of this shit. Okay. They had evidence on Jim Jones and all that, but they never picked Jimmy up. And I'm telling y'all, the reason why they never picked Jimmy up, and the reason why they even started focusing on 9 Trey and Mel murder was because Jim Jones just signed his Rock Nation management deal, bro. Every time somebody ended up going down to the feds, every time. If anybody should have went down, it should have been Jimmy. How Jimmy didn't go down in this indictment. How he didn't go down in this indictment. And we all know, okay, with this gun case, how he get out of that in Atlanta. How that happened? You got to be some type of police, nigga. You got to be some type of police. You got to be giving up some type of information. You got to be swapping something. You got to be swapping something out. Something is being swapped out. Some type of information. You giving drops on niggas or something. Because there's no way in the world that the feds just skip over you the way that they skipped over you and how they came in on this 9 Trey movement. Don't you know this 9 Trey movement, this situation with Shotty and them was all Jim Jones? Jim Jones was leading this whole pack. He was funding this whole pack behind the scenes. For the ones who don't know, he also was funding 9 Trey with the Tekashi situation. Why you think Jim Jones never came out and ain't say shit when Shotty and all them had Tekashi on the front line repping 9 Trey and the Bloods? Why you think he never said nothing until 6ix9ine started flipping on him like, no, fuck that. Y'all fucking my bitch. Y'all fucking my baby mama. Y'all trying to rob me out my money and I'm paying all you niggas bills. Nigga, fuck that. I'm flipping on all you niggas. Fuck y'all niggas. I'm telling on all you niggas. Nigga, I'm the one getting the bag. I'm the money maker. Yeah, y'all gave me a pass to represent 9 Trey, but nigga, I'm the artist. I'm getting to the bag. It's my creativity. It's my music. It's my sound. I'm paying y'all niggas bills. And y'all want to go fuck my baby mama out of all the bitches y'all could be fucking out here. Why y'all want to go fuck on my baby mama? I don't understand niggas, bro. I don't understand niggas, bro. Out of all the females in Harlem, out of all the females in Brooklyn, Queens, all 5 boroughs, all the females in America, why you want to fuck mine though? Make it make sense. So 6ix9ine said, fuck that. I'm flipping. Not to mention y'all niggas try to kidnap me, rob me, and all this shit, nigga. I'm telling on all you niggas. Fuck that. And I'ma come out and steady scream that shit. And I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like it or not. Cause y'all said fuck me and my family. So I'm saying fuck y'all. So that's what Tekashi did. And I respect that nigga for that. Now, like I said, I don't respect no rats or no snitches. But due to the circumstances, how this man was feeding their family, feeding their kids, and they go fuck on his baby mama out of all these other bitches that they could have been fucking on. Why you want to fuck on this man? Why you want to fuck on the bag wife? Like, come on, make it make sense. Cause I ain't even gonna cap, nigga. If I'm out here and I'm on the front line and I'm getting money for my team and I'm the breadwinner and I got everybody around me, right? And everybody's eating off of my plate, right? And my creativity, right? And I'm paying your bills, your bills, your bills through my creativity and my financial stability for your kids to eat, your kids to eat, your kids to eat, your kids to eat, your mother to eat, your mother to eat, your grandmama to eat, your grandmama to eat, and you gonna fuck my wife and my baby mama, nigga, I'm telling on you too. I'm telling on you, I'm flipping on you too. Y'all flipped on me. It's all different ways of flipping on a motherfucker, bro. All right, snitching ain't the only form of flipping on a nigga. Okay, being disloyal and dishonest is flipping on a nigga. Okay, and that's what they did. They flipped on Tekashi. So he flipped on them. Straight like that. He flipped on them. Okay, but like I said, I find it very odd and very strange that when Tekashi flipped, because we know for a fact Tekashi mentioned Jim Jones, bro. We know he did. We know he did. And we know for a fact the same non-trace set, the same movement, the same individuals, the same people that Tekashi was running with. Shotty, Mel, Harv, and all these niggas. Jim Jones is running with these niggas. Jim Jones is running with these same individuals that caught this indictment. Now, when I'm hearing y'all, okay, this shit about to spin back and hit Jimmy real different. Real different. And the reason why I say that is from a lot of reliable resources, bro. All right. They said Max B signed a proffer agreement. All right. I'm also hearing Mel Murder signed a proffer agreement. And that's why he's home early. Okay. So we know what proffer agreements is. Do we need to pull it up on the screen? Or do I just need to speak plain English out this bitch? We know what a proffer agreement is, right? You trading information, giving information for a lesser sentence. A proffer agreement is you giving information, trading information for a lesser sentence. Okay? See something here. Check this out. I'll show y'all what this shit is about, man. The same shit Big Meech did. No different. Proffer agreements. Okay? It's a written agreement between a written agreement at that. A written statement, my nigga. A written agreement between a criminal suspect and the government that allows the suspect to provide information in exchange for limited immunity, often called use immunity. Under this agreement, the suspect's statements cannot be used directly against them in a criminal trial. Strategic drop. Okay? It cannot be used directly against them in a criminal trial, provided they are completely truthful and do not withhold information. However, the government can use the information to build its case. Strategic drop. And the agreement typically includes exceptions that allow the statements to be used for impeachment if the suspect lies on the stand later. All right, let's get shit straight here. Y'all know what a proffer agreement is? A fucking rat, a fucking snake, a fucking snitch. If you giving the government, the federal government, information, and you're signing it, making sure that information don't be used against you, what is that telling you? It's criminal. The shit is so criminal, you want to make sure you don't get charged for it. It's facts. And we know it's all facts because if they find out that your ass is lying, what it say it could be used for? Impeachment, right? Right? So you think Max B gonna take a chance on getting impeached? Ask Donald Trump. You think Max B gonna take a chance by getting impeached? You think Mel Murder gonna take a chance by getting impeached? Because Mel Murder just signed this proffer agreement, bro. This is why Mel Murder is on the streets. Okay? Pull up some fucking drops. This is why Mel is on the streets, yo. Mel was supposed to have 11 of them things, right? 11 of them things, right? He did 7. Came home out the blue, all fucked up and confused. Came home straight out the box, y'all. Straight out the box. He was in solitary confinement for 7 to 8 months. The day before they bust the gates, he came straight out the hole. And I explained to everybody why he came out the hole. Because of that interview he did on Doggy Diamonds, revealing that he told The feds that he didn't know that was Jim Jones on the other line. He revealed to Doggy Diamonds that it actually was. This was on a major platform. Right after this interview came out, Mel Murder went straight to the hole, y'all. That interview came out with Doggy Diamonds in January, yo. Mel Murder got sent straight to the motherfucking hole for that shit. And I'm here. Okay? We gon' all that shit gonna pop up. Trust me. That the proffer agreement was signed. Let me tell y'all something. Why y'all think Jim Jones ain't know the man was coming home? They ain't even have a setup for him. No welcome home this, no welcome home that. Max B gonna have a better setup than Mel Murder because everybody is anticipating Max B coming home. Nobody wasn't anticipating Mel Murder coming home. He wasn't supposed to be home. He's not supposed to be out. The reason why he is out because this case is getting built on Jim Jones. Also, Max B is about to step on the ground again. And I find it very odd and very strange that Max B was a part of Bird Gang. Mel Murder was a part of Bird Gang. Feds came in, sweeped up 9 Trey. Remind you, Max B is also 9 Trey. That part. You see what I'm saying? They all Billy badasses. You heard? They all Billy badasses. Ain't no telling what type of information Max B allegedly done gave these people for this proffer agreement in exchange for lesser time. Same shit was going on with Mel Murder. Now, like I said, let me strategically break this down, bro. We one of the best to do this. Okay? When Pooh Shiesty came home, right? Didn't they have everything set up for Pooh Shiesty, y'all? Hit the like button. When Pooh Shiesty came home, right? When he came home, he came home to money. He came home to a little pad, a little condo layout. They got the wallpaper, the graphics, they got all the artwork. Welcome home, Shiesty. They got everything. They got the dinner table, they got the loft, they got everything rented out. They got everything set up for the nigga, right? Well, why wasn't nothing set up for Mel Murder when he came home? Mind you, he came home at the train station, y'all. They didn't even pick the man up. Okay? It didn't even pick the man up. Man, they even have a new do, ain't shaved, hair ain't done, nothing going on. Nobody know Mel Murder is coming home. Nobody know Mel Murder is being released. He just pops up out the blue. Just pops up out the blue. Now, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he said some things. Yeah, man. He said some things that made a lot of sense. Because if anybody know anything about this 9 Trey situation and what's going on behind the scenes, it's Tekashi. Y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want. Tekashi was there. He was stepping and standing with them niggas. A lot of niggas don't like Tekashi for what he did. All right. But I'm gonna be honest, when it come to family and shit, bro, you dealing with family, you fucking with my family, bro. All rules is off the table, bro. Everything is off the table. And we know how that nationality is when it comes to family, when it comes to their brothers, when it comes to their sisters, when it comes to their ladies, when it comes to their wives. You know what I mean? They take that shit deep. It's a different type of scar when it comes to that Mexican descent, bro. Okay, so you got these black dudes fucking on his baby mama. He like, man, fuck all that, bro. I'm flipping on y'all niggas. Like Hungry Jack, Aunt Your Mama pancakes, nigga. All right, I'm flipping on y'all niggas on the bubble. I'm on the bubble flipping on y'all niggas. Like pancakes. When it bubble, you gotta flip, right? When all the holes and it's bubbling, you gotta flip, right? As Takashi was bubbling, getting everybody a bag. They was dishonest and disloyal to him, so he flipped on them while he was bubbling. Okay? And with that being said, y'all, Takashi has said a lot. He said some things. Shout out Paula Hall, man. I appreciate you for your love. Appreciate you for your support. Thank you for the endorsement. Thank you for the sponsorship of this live. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for being a loyal supporter, loyal member, fire starter, hawker, walker, and stalker, man. The love is much appreciated. I appreciate you, man. I do. I really do. Okay, now, like I said, if anybody's been speaking the most sense about this whole situation with Jim Jones and Mel Murder and Nine Trey is Takashi. Because, like I said, Takashi was right there for the whole thing. He know what's going on the inside and the outskirts. You heard? He's still walking around New York. You heard what Jim Jones doing? Nothing you heard. Check this out as I strategically wake y'all up, shake y'all up, and if you smoke, I'm about to bake y'all up. All right? Strategically. Because check this out, right? The whole time, I'll show y'all something here. The whole time, why? Nine Trey, the whole time while Nine Trey, Melly, Shotty, and how Jim Jones talk about he gonna spin for the coast and all this and all that, blah blah this, blah blah that. The whole time these niggas was locked up. Jim Jones ain't do shit to Takashi. He ain't do nothing. All that shit he talk, right? All that shit that he be popping, right? Jim Jones ain't do a goddamn thing to Takashi. You know why Jim Jones ain't do a goddamn thing to Takashi? You know why he never said a goddamn thing to Takashi? Because Jim Jones is with the fucking shit too. Takashi will put him on blast. Like he already put Rock Nation on blast and said what? Rock Nation is the police. Rock Nation is the feds. Okay, we know Takashi do not bite his tongue. For real. Jim Jones don't want to go at it with Takashi because Takashi will put this nigga in his place respectfully. He up there telling Shotty on the phone. I mean, he up there telling Melly on the phone that 9 need to be super duper violated. We all remember that, right? Okay. Or do I need to replay a few things? Maybe I just need to do a little quick rewind, right? Because we all know we heard old boy say he need to be super duper violated, right? He was talking to Mel Murder saying he need to be violated. super duper violated, right? Well, why you ain't never violate him, Jim Jones? Why you trying to put other niggas in the bag to violate niggas, but you ain't doing no violating, nigga? Okay, so he tells Mel Murder that they need to super duper violate Tekashi and put him on blast and tell everybody that he never was blood and blah blah this and blah blah that and blah blah this and blah blah that. Okay. Okay, so let's do a quick recap, man. Let's go. Hit the like button, drop your fire and TVs in the chat. Hold on a second here. Give me 2 seconds, man.
What's up? I see you in cut like Rothschild, nigga. What's up, nigga? Yeah. What's up, nigga? It's my look. That's how you look. That's how I look. It's my look. No How you on, nigga? No drugs, nigga. Yes, nigga. Oh, what happened? I want the grizzly up.
He definitely humiliating Shotty right now, bro.
Well, you got your picture up there next to the post. Nigga. Like when you go to YouTube and World Star, they got his picture next to the shit. Everything he say, they got a split screen with Shotty picture next to the shit. I said, this shit crazy, son. But he doing that to make K9 think he don't got no relationship with Boy. That's what he trying to do. He trying to live. He trying to separate himself.
That's cool, but now he gotta get violated.
Yeah, super violated. Super duper. So ain't too much he can really do unless he gonna run around with 100 armed securities all day. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get shot at pay.
He ain't getting enough money for that.
That's a fact. And he just canceled all his shows.
And he ain't a gang member no more.
Nah, he ain't nothing.
That's what Shotty needs to make sure he do.
Nah,
tell that nigga that he not a gang member no more. He kicked out the whip. He was never a gang member. Nigga, Shotty need to expose him. Like,
nah, it's pussy. You know the dude. They got TMZ. TMZ want to talk to niggas on Monday. So Shotty like, you want me? Crippy. I think he said.
Nah, you don't need to be on no TMZ. Let Shotty be on TMZ.
I'm not gonna get on it, but he wanted me to talk to the nigga and tell the nigga what happened. Like, cause you know, my lap first. You feel me? So he want.
Nah, you don't say nothing. You let Shotty handle that shit, bro.
Okay, so we got Jim Jones, right? Basically coaching, okay, Mel Murder through the whole situation on how to move and how to go about the situation with Tekashi, Shotty, and the whole 9 Trey thing. And we hear Jim Jones out his own mouth, okay, talking about super duper violation. All right, let's take it back 1 second, man.
Screen with Shotty picture next to the shit. I said, this shit crazy, son. But he doing that to make K9 think he don't got no relationship with Boy. That's what he trying to do. He trying to live. He trying to separate himself.
That's cool, but now he gotta get violated.
Yeah, super violated. Super duper. So ain't too much.
Super violated. You see that, right? Now he gotta get violated. He gotta get super duper violated. So when Shotty went down, when Mel went down, Jimmy Jones, and Tekashi still running around all around New York, all around Atlanta, all around LA, all down in Miami. You ain't do a motherfucking thing, nigga. Jim Jones ain't do shit, yo. Be up there telling Mel Murder that he need to violate Takashi. How is Mel Murder the godfather of the 9 Trey movement, and Jim Jones is calling the ball shots on you? How that work? He telling you who to violate and how to violate a motherfucker when you his big homie. Mel Murder is the big homie under the 9 Trey Bloods. That's Jim Jones' big homie. How is Jim Jones telling the big homie how to handle his gang politics? Which proves Jim Jones has a higher ranking in this 9 Trey organization than a lot of people believe. They have no idea far as the back end go. Okay, he is responsible for promoting this whole East Coast blood movement. That's what the fans are going to say anyway, because it's all in your music, Jimmy. It's all in your music. And not only that, like I said, we need to make real life matters, make real life sense. If anybody knew Mel Murder was coming home, it should have been who, y'all? As I strategically fucked this up, was going to prove 109 over 10%. Okay. If Mel Murder was coming home, how the fuck Jim Jones ain't know? How Jim Jones didn't know Mel Murder was coming home? Everybody knew Pooh Shiesty was coming home. This nigga ain't go to the halfway house or nothing, y'all. He came straight home. Police, proper agreements. Mel Murder ain't even go to a half house like Big Meech, like Pooh Shiesty, and so many others that got to go through protocols. Mel Murder came straight out of solitary confinement, straight on the ground. No ankle bracelet, no nothing. No nothing. And I'm telling y'all what's going on. The proffer agreement. Don't y'all know these proffer agreements? Let me put y'all on something, man. These proffer agreements can be signed, yo, in the middle of your bid while you already in sentencing, while you already sentenced. You can recant a lot of shit that you said and that you were standing on at first and sign a proffer agreement in exchange for limited immunity. Like I said, a proffer agreement is a written agreement between a criminal suspect and the government that allows the suspect to provide information in exchange for limited immunity, often called use immunity. Under this agreement, the suspect's statements cannot be used directly against them in a criminal trial, provided they are completely truthful and do not withhold information. However, the government can use the information to build its case, which proves, okay, Mel Murder gave these people some type of information for them to release him early the way that they released him. Because remind y'all, the reason why Mel Murder was in the hole before he got out was due to this interview that he did with Doggy Diamonds, y'all. The interview that Mel Murder did with Doggy Diamonds, revealing what was going on with the situation with Jim Jones, not to mention when the feds got wind of old boy, all right, and I'm about to pull it right back up, right? When feds got wind of old boy, on that interview with Doggy Diamonds, they sent his ass to the hole, and they're about to give his ass some more time. They're about to bring up some more charges on Mel Murder, bro. All right? Okay, but let's continue.
Much he can really do unless he gonna run around with 100 armed securities all day. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get shot at pay.
He ain't getting enough money for that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And he just canceled all his shows.
And he ain't a gang member no more.
Nah, he ain't nothing.
Wow.
That's what Nick. That's what Shotty needs to make sure he do.
Nah, we
tell that nigga that he's not a gang member no more. He kicked out the whip. He was never a gang member. Nigga.
You not a gang member. You kicked out the whip. Like I said, y'all, this is Jim Jones telling the big homies, the shot callers, okay, what to do. All right. The 101s, the 102s, the 103s, the 104s, and the 105s, and the 5Gs, and the YG. He telling these niggas which shots to call under the gang politics. The police got all this on record. They got it all documented. He telling Mel Murder he need to super duper violate Tekashi. All right. And he telling Mel Murder that Shotty need to tell everybody that he ain't a blood and Tekashi ain't a blood no more. Kick him out the whip. He ain't a gang member no more. Jim Jones is the one calling the shots. Because what I'm telling y'all behind the scenes is a lot of people don't know that Jim Jones was funding this situation with Nine Trey and Tekashi behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. But let's continue.
Shotty need to expose him. Like,
nah, it's pussy. You want me to do? Yeah, they got a TMZ. TMZ want to talk to niggas on Monday. So Shotty like, you want me? Crippy. I think he said.
Nah, you don't need to be on no TMZ. Let Shotty be on TMZ.
I'm not gonna get on it, but he wanted me to talk to nigga and tell nigga what happened, like, cause you know my lap first. You feel me? So he want.
Nah, you don't say nothing. You let Shotty handle that shit, bro. You don't say nothing.
So don't say nothing.
Nah, Shotty gotta handle that shit. He get on TMZ. He need to talk his talk and he talk his shit. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
And he need to be very, very, very articulate about what he's saying, why he made people think that nigga was a gang member. He needs to let niggas know that he was never a gang member. Mm-hmm.
They gonna do shit we ain't gonna do.
Them niggas moving all that shit. And them niggas, I'm telling you, bro, yo, Melly came home, right? Mel Matrix came home, right?
Yeah.
The big homie came home, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you how gangsters full. He got sentenced to 11 years. Why he came home in 7?
Why? I'm about to go crazy. Give me a second. I gotta get comfortable with this shit. I just wrote.
Hey, yo, everything I'm saying, bro, is going to come to pass. Just like I told y'all with that situation that's going on down there in Dallas, right? Right? With the zillionaire dough and the Yo Gotti and all the feds and everything that's going on down there. Y'all know they just picked up Montana 700, right? Montana 700 just got picked up yesterday, last night, allegedly moving hella pounds of weed. You see what I'm saying? These niggas get money and can't stay out of Dallas. But that's something totally different, man. We're going to be talking about that too, because I know what's going on with that situation. I told y'all they was all going to get lined up. I told y'all before it even happened. That situation that's going on down there in Dallas. Now look what's going on with Montana 700. I told everybody. Just like I'm telling everybody with this situation here, everything will come to pass. Jim Jones is about to get indicted too. This is why Mel Murder is on the ground. This is why Max B is on the ground. This is all coming at a strategic rate for Jim Jones. And the only reason why Jim Jones got the pass with the 9 Trey indictment, y'all, as I strategically break this down. Like I said, a lot of people ain't pay this no mind. Happened, look, in 2018, Jim Jones had just signed the Rock Nation deal. The year before that, the whole time, Mel Murder, Shotty, Harv, all these niggas been running around New York going crazy, doing whatever they wanted to do. Soon as Jim Jones signed this Rock Nation deal, here come the motherfucking feds, bro. Just like soon as Casanova signed the Rock Nation deal, here come the motherfucking feds, yo. All right. Soon as Yo Gotti signed the Rock Nation deal, here come the motherfucking feds, yo. There's so much going on with that Rock Nation situation, bro. And like I said, man, it don't take a rocket fucking scientist to put 1 + 1 to equal it out the fucking 2. My eyes can see clearly. I ain't no 1-eye Willie over this bitch, Jim Jones. You see, you want a motherfucker to be a 1-eye Willie because you want a motherfucker to be looking through one eye. So you can blind individuals, right? Like I said, man, members of Bird Gang, also an acronym for members of blood. And every member of the Bird Gang has fell victim to Jim Jones bullshit. Every member. Every member. Max B, Mel Murder, and Stack Bundles. And like I said, back to Stack Bundles. Stack Bundles was trying to get out of Far Rockaway. Jim Jones was supposed to give Stack Bundles a bag time and time and time and time and time and time again. Never gave Stack Bundles his bag. Stack Bundles wrote the biggest record of Jim Jones' career. The Ballin' Joint. Everybody think it's Max B. Let me tell y'all something. Max B did not write Ballin', bro. Stack Bundles wrote Ballin'. Stack Bundles wrote Ballin' before he died. Max B was in jail when Stack Bundles wrote Ballin'. He wrote the verses and all that shit for Jim Jones. Max B just came along, okay, and helped with the hook of the Ballin' situation because Stack Bundles was dead. And I'm even hearing on the back end, y'all, that whole balling song, that whole situation with Stack Bundles. But Stack Bundles gave it to Jim. Jim made a whole lot of promises that he ain't keep. He made a whole lot of promises that he ain't keep. Now, like I said, man, this situation here is the reason why we're dealing with this situation right now with Mel Murder and Jim Jones.
This call is from
Jamel Jones.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. To block this call, you may begin speaking now.
Yo.
Yo, doggy, what's up, homie?
What's good, bro? Long time, man.
Yeah, you know, I'm still in the building. What's up with it, though? How you?
Best style, you already know. We big best style over here, you know. You know what we do.
Ain't no secret. My grandmother know that.
Right. How you doing, though, bro?
Yeah, I can't complain, man. Another day in Disneyland, you heard?
Yeah, see you. I see you soon. You know, we see you soon. We see you soon. But you know, bro.
We'll see you soon. But who would knew it was be 7 months? We ain't hear Mel Murder on this interview say, yo, I'll be home in a couple months. Nobody knew this man was coming home. Okay. But because of this interview he did on Doggy Diamonds, this is what sparked the fire to the inferno.
I'm glad you called. It's a lot going on out here, and we gotta hear from you. You know what I'm saying? So
A lot going on, like what?
everybody want to know coming back up, the wiretap coming back up, and they saying why Jim ain't get picked up, all y'all got picked up. That's the main question, bro.
They may get picked up because the feds ain't want to pick them up.
Right.
That's why he get picked up.
Right.
He ain't tell nothing.
Right.
Ain't got nobody paperwork. He still told through the whole situation.
Right.
I mean, I don't put bones on niggas that don't deserve a bone on them. You know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing bad to say about Big Bro. That nigga still told from the day I walked in this bitch to the day I walked out. He gonna be right there. He ain't going nowhere. That's my slime. That's Big Bro. We locked in. It's up. It's done, nigga.
Apologize about that. So we hear Mel Murder, right? Now it's a lot more that was said on that interview that I didn't even play. I just had put that clip in there to break down what I was covering at that moment. Okay, but Mel Murder has said a lot in this interview, man. All right, a whole lot. All right, and we gonna get right into it because, like I said, nobody knew Jim Jones was coming home. I mean, nobody knew, including knew that Mel Murder was coming home. Don't you think they would have been a little bit more
for y'all is a phone call between
Nigga, like what? I ain't got no gun.
Don't y'all think Jim Jones would have been a little bit more prepared for Mel Murder release, The Godfather? Okay. Check it out. Hold on here.
Nah, the phone call got brought up. But like I said, you know what I'm saying?
So,
Like niggas ain't in jail because that's that fucking phone call.
Right.
Yeah? And like I said, who it was, it wasn't Jim on the phone. I don't know who that was.
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
Why they didn't go get him?
He wasn't a target. He
Right.
wasn't a target. And like I said, niggas ain't implicate him. I don't know who that was on the phone.
Right.
I'm still saying that to this day.
Right.
I don't know who that was on the phone.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to tell you the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who it was. It wasn't Jim on the phone. I don't know who that was.
Right.
I don't give a fuck if it sounds just like him. Maybe you got a nigga with the same voice. Same shit I told the police.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they asked me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he ain't locked up because he wasn't the target. He wasn't who they wanted. They got who they wanted.
Right.
And like I said, everybody else had other acts. Niggas ain't in jail for no fucking phone call.
Right.
Like, niggas ain't in jail because that's that fucking phone call. Niggas in jail because niggas had extra acts alone with that whole situation. That's why niggas is in jail.
Right.
That's why everybody got charged with what they got charged with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So-
They do lock them up for a phone call.
So the phone call. So your charges ain't even had nothing to do with the phone.
What they talking about? How many motherfuckers we know have been locked up and been indicted for just talking on the phone, bro? How many people we know that have been indicted for talking on the phone? So many people, right? What is that called? Conspiracy. Okay. Direct involvement. And it depends on what the situation is and what you talking about, what you discussing, what you breaking down on the phone call. All right. Prior or post to a situation, it could also be premeditation. All right. Depending on what the outcome is. Now, we heard Jim Jones say he needed to be kicked out the whip. He needed to be super duper violated, blah blah this and violated, blah blah this and blah blah that. So if he would have got violated, if he would have got beat up and all this and all that, blah blah this, blah blah that, who would have been the one to blame? Who called the shot on that? Who called the shot on that? It was Jim Jones, right? So, for example, if something would have happened to Takashi with him getting beat up, slapped, anything like that, Jim Jones would have been the one to blame, right? Because they got him on the phone. They got the evidence of him saying he's getting kicked out the whip and he's about to get super duper violated, right? So, if something would have happened to Takashi, they got the evidence that Jim Jones was directly connected to the situation because we got him saying, yeah, we gonna kick him out the whip. He ain't a gang member. We gonna super duper violate him and all that. So why can't they pick up a motherfucker for a phone call? If I'm on a phone call, right? Or if one of y'all are on a phone call and we talking about a situation that's going on with another individual and how we're going to handle it and how we're going to address it. All right. And we address it in that same fashion, aggressively and physically. And they got us on the phone prior to us engaging in these acts. What the fuck do you call that? What the fuck do you call that? Mel Murder said Jim Jones stood tall. How he stood tall when the man didn't even take care of you, bro? You come home to nothing. He ain't come see you one time. The whole time you was sitting up, Nigga ain't build you a house, ain't get you no land, ain't set no tuitions up for your kids. Nothing going on. When you come home, only thing you get is a little ass chain. And you get picked up from the train station. You know why? Because I know Jim Jones got to be looking at you sideways too. Jim Jones might not be saying nothing, y'all. But Jim Jones got to be nervous. Because he even said when the feds picked up Melly, he was scared to death. Okay? And now that the feds have released Melly, without him even knowing Melly was even coming home, like I said, he wasn't even prepared. If anybody would have been prepared for Melly's arrival and return, would have been Jim Jones. Like everybody's being prepared for who? Max B, Pooh Shiesty, and everybody else that's waiting to come home, right? Like everybody was being prepared for Big Meech to come home. Before Big Meech and Pooh Shiesty came home and some of these people come home, it's an anticipation. It's a build-up. It's a build-up, y'all. It's a build-up. It was no build-up. It was no anticipation because they just let the man out the blue, due to a proffer agreement that he signed. And like I said, y'all, they come at you with these proffer agreements in the middle of your bid after you already signed plea deals in the middle of your time. And the reason why Mel Murder folded was because he went on that interview that I just was playing for y'all with Doggy Diamonds, popping that shit, admitting to everybody that he lied to the feds, that he told them that he ain't know that was Jimmy on the other line, that was somebody else. Well, in reality, it was. And he admitted it. The feds got wind of it. They came to his shit, sent them in a hole. He was locked in a hole for 7 fucking months for that interview. Not to mention, yo, they was about to bring up some more charges on Mel Murder in that situation with the 9 Trey Bloods. Because remind you, Mel Murder is not actually locked up for really gang politics. He's locked up for heroin, fentanyl, and shit like that. They're saving that big smack for Jim Jones. They're saving that big indictment for Jim Jones. Because how can the godfather of the 9 Trey Bloods don't get more time than Shotty and them? Make sense, y'all. You see, we gonna talk real facts. All right. How the big homie, the godfather, ain't get sent up and sentenced to the same time as these individuals. Something ain't adding up. Something ain't adding up. Something ain't making sense. And for this man to get sentenced to 11 years and come home in 7 without anybody knowing that he was coming home, bro. He got to be coming home for one reason and one reason only. And this is why we see him looking so out of place and so uncomfortable when he came home and he was around Jim Jones. He looked so out of it. He was not in the right space at all. At all. As we noticed, we haven't seen him since, right? We haven't seen Mel Murder since, right? Jim Jones, that's how strategically start, you know what I mean, to just bring a little bit more steam and gasoline to the fire. Jim Jones just got this new platform, right? That's being funded by Rock Nation, IFC, artist to artist, right? Right? So you would think Jim Jones would be trying to get Melly story out there, right? You would think Jim Jones would be trying to put Melly in a position like he's putting himself, right? Instead of him trying to interview all these other individuals, why don't you just put it into your own craft? The motherfuckers that you came up with, the motherfucker who basically went to jail for you, and speak on his story and the shit that he been through and that whole situation that went down with Nine Trey. But you know why Jim Jones is not interviewing Mel Murder? And you know why Mel Murder is not sitting down with Jim Jones? Talking that shit on these platforms? Because like I said, Mel Murder know what's about to go down. And Jim Jones know what's about to go down too. Okay? All right? Let me or you or anybody else in this chat, and I don't wish that on nobody, get sentenced to 11, 12 fucking years. And the motherfucker come home 6.5, 7. That ain't even 85%. Ain't enough good time in the world. Ain't enough good time in the world, yo. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. So, I just wanted to break down those certain aspects of what's really going on involving this situation with Jim Jones, Mel Murder, Max B, and also Stack Bundles, because they all were reputable members of Bird Gang. And something drastic happened to every member except Jimmy. Except Jimmy. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. I appreciate y'all. Okay, members of Bird Gang. Check it out. A lot of people ain't paying this no mind. All right, I gotta get the algorithm warmed up. We gotta get back in the race, man, before I start dropping these meltdowns like that. We gotta be back in the algorithm. Real hot. All right, because the meltdowns that I'm dropping is not taking off like they supposed to, which means you have to be a little bit more consistent. Have to be a little bit more consistent, all the way consistent when you're doing this YouTube shit. I was explaining this last week. Now, I mean, it takes a lot of time out of your personal life. Like, if this is what you dedicated to, this is what you're going to have to be dedicated to. Now, I mean, like, it ain't nothing else going on once you into this. You know what I'm saying? You have to be on top of your shit. Okay, because when you're not on top of your shit, somebody else is. No diddy. All right. When you ain't reporting on shit, somebody else is. Whether if it's a lie, whether if it's a truth, whether if it's some bullshit, it's still being covered. They're still being consistent. And that's what keeps your platform in the algorithm, being consistent. Whether you're telling lies, the truth, whether you dancing, talking, making milkshakes and fucking Slurpees or fucking salads, it doesn't matter. Long as you consistent in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? And that's what YouTube is looking for. Just consistency in the algorithm. All right. It's been times where though I could take a day or two off, maybe 3 in between a video. Now I mean, then drop another video. You like YouTube ain't allowing that shit no more. It's too much competition. It's too many bloggers, live streamers, and shit out here. This is why when I'm not actually active on my channel, they stop sending out notifications to individuals, even though everybody is subscribed and got their notifications turned all the way up. When YouTube automated system see that you're not being active and consistent on your channel, they'll stop sending the notifications out to your subscribers until you start being consistent again. And then they'll start picking up, sending out the fucking notifications. As y'all can see, man, maybe about 20, 30 notifications went out of 20,000. So what that tell you? What that tell you? You know what I mean? So this is why I tell people unsubscribe, resubscribe, turn your notification bell all the way up. But that wouldn't even make a difference. You just have to make an impact on the algorithm, period. You know what I'm saying? So now I mean, like I was saying, man, I've been real busy. I've been caught up with a lot of personal things going on in my personal life that I really choose not to get into at the moment. I will share it with y'all eventually. But basically, man, I had to go on factory reset. All right. I had to go back to the factory settings. All right. It was explained. I mean, what's understood ain't got to be explained. Now, I mean, I had to go back to factory settings on a lot of shit, man. Shit that I done built and put my all into, man. And sometimes you have to go back to factory settings, man, to eliminate all the bullshit with all these negative ass strings that's attached to your situation, man. You got to factory reset everything and let everything go, no matter if it's family, your other half, your brother, your sister, your best friend, none of that, bro. You got to protect your peace at all times. You have to protect your peace. All right. And I had to eliminate some people out of my space, some people out of my life to protect my peace and my mental health. Respectfully, man. All right. Because my mental health is at risk when you're around negative people all the time, bro. People got negative energy. See what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got no ambition. You know what I'm saying? When you around something that's just all the way, you the only one with the fire up under your feet. You the only one that's scorching and lighting flames. Don't nobody else want to light no flames. Don't nobody else want to stand on shit. Don't nobody else want to hunt. Don't nobody else want to go eat. Don't nobody else want nothing in life. Don't nobody else got no goals. Don't nobody else want to do shit. They just want to sit back and watch the next motherfucker do something. Factory reset. It's over with. It's over with. Factory reset. And word is born. I know what sacrifice is all about. Sacrifice everything I had, everything I got, and gave that shit up. The factory reset because I got the tools, I got the knowledge, I got the wisdom to stomp and step and stand on shit alone by myself. I am equipped with the proper tools to maneuver. All right, and this goes for everybody out there, man. No matter what situation you are in, never feel like you are handcuffed to a situation if nobody doesn't value you. People could talk about how much they value you all they want, but their fucking actions will speak totally different. When you value somebody, you don't say it with your mouth. You show it with actions. You show it with appreciation. You show it with commitment. You show it with integrity. You show it with dedication in a constructive way, in a loyal way, in a generous way. Okay? So I'm just telling everybody out there, man, don't never feel like you handcuffed to a situation. Don't never feel as though that you have to feel as though that you have to be around certain people to be accepted. Man, fuck all that. Fuck all that. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. I appreciate y'all. I do, man. Thank y'all a lot, man. I do, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Don't allow anybody to, let me say it like this, and then I'll get off of this subject here. All right? When you realize your peace is no longer for negotiation, bro, it's time to get the fuck up out of there. When you realize you're not about to keep sacrificing your mental health to keep peace for people who don't value you, get the fuck up out of there, yo. When you choose growth over guilt, even when you're misunderstood, get the fuck out of there, yo. When you're no longer and don't want to carry everyone's emotional weight, get the fuck out of there, yo. No matter what situation it is. If you tired and you refuse to carry someone and everybody else's emotional weight, get the fuck out of Dodge, bro. That shit is detrimental, bro. Especially to a motherfucker who don't appreciate it. Get the fuck out of there. Leave their ass where the fuck they stand. Leave their ass where the fuck they stand. When you decide to no longer carry someone else's emotional weight, get the fuck out of Dodge, man. Don't allow nobody to manipulate you like that, man. Just because they know how good your heart is, man. Let nobody manipulate you like that, man. When you realize love without respect is just control, get the fuck out of there. All right? Okay. When you tired of being the peacemaker in a dysfunctional system, in a dysfunctional situation, and you the only one going to bat, stomping, stepping, and standing on shit, and ain't nothing changing, and you the only one working hard for the change, get the fuck out of there, bro. When you realize, you come to realization, bro, that you will no longer be a peacemaker in a dysfunctional system with dysfunctional individuals, because nothing changes when you're the only one doing the work. Mind you of this situation with Bird Day. Once Stack Bundles found out it wasn't what it was, once Max B found out it wasn't what it was, they was trying to get up out of there. See, a lot of people don't know Stack Bundles wasn't never signed to Jim Jones. Yo, Stack Bundles was about to leave Bird Gang, bro. He never signed no contract. He never signed no contract. They said Stack Bundles was about to sign a Young Money. That's supposed to have been the first Young Money artist. Okay, it was Currency. We know Lil Wayne had did a little deal with his artist Currency, right? Jim Jones ain't want that. Jim Jones ain't want Stack Bundles. To go nowhere else, because there's already talks, there's already rumors. That he's about to leave Jim Jones. He's about to get up out of there, man. He's about to get up out of there, bro. There's a lot of shit Jim was doing that Stacks didn't respect. A lot of shit that's going on, man. And in the coming days, in the coming weeks, we're going to be getting more into this situation. We're going to be getting more into the Pimp C shit. Okay? I'm going to be working on a lot of these type situations that been cold and chilling on the ice block. Going to be try to be very, very consistent. And I'm going to try not to reveal, which I never do, reveal everything in these lives. Just getting the algorithm warmed up. We're going to drop a couple more shorts and shit like that. We know how to get the algorithm back, man. We done this shit. Ain't too many content creators can take breaks and come back and set fire. Take a break, come back and set fire. Take a break, come back and set fire. And this is what we gonna do. And like I said, man, I apologize to all my supporters, all my followers, subscribers, my loyal members, my moderators. But man, life been lifing, man. I ain't no different from nobody else. God-fearing man that stand on real morals and real principles. Fuck all that family shit. I ain't going. I ain't going. I'm a man of scriptures. I ain't going. Fuck all that family shit. I ain't going. If you ain't standing on morally sound shit, real principles, ain't no need for me to fuck with you. I don't want none of your energy. Nothing you got going on. If you're a grown ass man with more than 3 or 4 kids and you living in another motherfucking house, you and your wife and your kids, nigga, something up with you, nigga. You ain't no man, nigga. Don't no man stand on no shit like that morally. Don't no man allow their whole family to be put out on the street without kicking up. Without kicking up. Nigga, before me and mine go on the street, nigga, I'm kicking all the way the fuck up, nigga. I'ma risk it all for mine. Niggas just sit right there and won't do a goddamn thing about it. Be back in that situation, back time and time and time and time and time and time again. See niggas fall victim to the same shit. Niggas grown as hell out here with kids. Females grown as hell out here with kids. Unconstructive ass mothers. They talking to their children like they grown ass adults. All screaming, yelling, all in their face, jumping up in their face like they fucking grown adults. Wonder why these kids got so much dysfunctional matters going on in their life. Wonder why when these kids go to school, they giving the teacher a hard time and the teacher want to choke them the fuck up. Wonder why they feel comfortable disrespecting the teacher that's trying to teach your child because you ain't got no respect for your child. You ain't showing your child no respect. Your child go over somebody else's house, they go represent you and your household. And once they see how you and your household is from your child characteristics, you're going to look stupid as a parent because they know somebody is raising that child. That child is not raising itself. That child is being taught these dysfunctional ways. People got it all the way fucked up, man. But sometimes you just gotta let people shit where they be and lay where they shit. Appreciate everybody up in here, man. But like I said, man, listen, man. Don't nothing come before the Father, man. Don't no principle or no moral come before the Father in the scriptures, man. But shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. Everybody that's joined me this morning for this live. And like I said, man, I ain't break down too much with Stacks. I spoke on a lot of things, but I ain't want to reveal too much. Just want to get the algorithm warmed up and give people something to think about when they leave this live today. Because like I said, every member of Bird Gang has been through some shit except Jim Jones. And when Jim Jones did go through it, y'all, what happened? What happened? Ain't nobody else dodging gun charges. Ain't nobody else taking police on a high-speed chase with loaded guns in the car, oxycodones, scripts, Percocets, vape cartridges, and all this weird man shit that's going on. Everybody else going to jail. Not to mention, when 9 Trey caught the indictment, everybody went to jail. Okay? Check it out. Pull up the whole shit. Where that? Right here. Right at the top. Right at the top. High-ranking member of 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods sentenced to 15 years. Right? And like I said, man, if y'all just do y'all research, man, just in the Wikipedia itself, it will reveal so much information just off the Wikipedia on what was going on with that 9 Trey situation with Jim Jones, Shotty, Mel Murder, Horror, and 6ix9ine. Jim Jones is mentioned so many times in this shit and never got picked up. Okay, look, check this out. The men were indicted on charges related to racketeering, weapon possession, and conspiracy to commit murder. Hernandez, which is who? 6ix9ine, was quickly made a person of interest in these charges and was apprehended alongside 5 other men on November 18, 2018, following a 5-year joint investigation. They was investigating these motherfuckers for 5 years. The Feds, Department of Homeland Security, New York Police Department, and ATF. And you mean to tell me Jim Jones slid by the radar under all that shit? They was already investigating these niggas 5 years in. You mean tell me they had Jim Jones on shit when Jim Jones stayed in Harlem? He stayed running around Harlem. Everybody know that he's still on the back end supplying Harlem with the motherfucking coke and the fentanyl. Niggas know what's going on out there. What do you think Mel Murder done told the people on that profit agreement? They just ain't let his ass out for nothing. What you think? What you think? What you think? Yeah, Jim Jones, yeah, bro. You done shitted on me, nigga. You ain't take care of me. You ain't take care of my family. You ain't been up here to see me. You ain't send your team up here. You haven't released not one Mel Murder project, DVD, book, no type of nothing. Since I've been locked up, bro, you ain't done shit for me and my legacy. Nothing. You ain't even put together a DVD for my legacy. Nothing. So I can eat while I'm in here so I can feed my family while I'm in here. You ain't do nothing for me, Jimmy. Nothing. Just like Jimmy ain't do shit for Max B. Just like he ain't do shit for Stack Bundles. And just like I said, y'all, okay, and we gonna be getting way more deeper into this shit. Okay? That situation with Stacks, it's not what y'all think it is. All right? Now, we know Stack had situations going on in the hood. Okay? And they said Stack had the hood on lock with the dope money and with the heroin and shit like that. And they want to Stack out the way because he had the hood on lock. But you have to ask yourself a question as I strategically break down facts. If they know that he about to sign this record deal and they know that he about to blow up, you ain't gonna have to deal with him anymore. The whole hood is yours. The streets is yours. Once he signed this deal, boom, he basically could get out the way now. Now y'all can have the streets to yourself, right? So if some niggas was beefing with Stack Bundles in Far Rock over drug territory, money issues, and they know that he got this motion in the music business, why didn't they just say, well, instead of us killing the nigga, getting him out the way, you know what I'm saying? Just let this nigga hurry up and sign his little deal, and then we ain't got to worry about it no more. We can have a whole block. We can have everything to ourselves. Then we ain't got to worry about no hot shit coming back to us by us offing this nigga. You see what I'm saying? You see, because he's about to take off. He was out of here. So if niggas in the street, shout out the Journey of Sins for the endorsement. $5 super sticker, super chat. Thank you for the sponsorship of this show. You got to think about it from a streets perspective for a second. All right. If I'm on a block and you on a block and we moving in the same vicinity, right? But you know I'm about to rap. I'm about to get up out of this dope shit. I'm your competition. I've been your competition for years, right? We've been going back and forth over this project and this dope money. But now I'm starting to rap, put my energy into something else. But I've always been your competition on the street. When you sit back and be like, well, shit, he about to sign his rap deal in a minute. I'm still gonna be in the streets. I ain't gonna be rapping. So fuck it. He can have that shit. You know what I'm saying? Until he signed this deal, and then boom, we just have all the shit. Everything is ours. Boom. It'll save a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that. But allegedly, the niggas that he was beefing with in his projects, they saying niggas in Far Rock knocked down Stack Bundles. That's what they allegedly trying to make it seem like, because he was into it with some niggas in Far Rock. But like I said, I'm hearing from reliable resources that that's not so much the case at all. And far from it. And far from it. And I heard that Stack Bundles was being watched and he was being followed all that day. All right. And prior to him going to the club that night, he stopped by the studio to meet with Jim Jones about some money. Now, Jim Jones is telling everybody that he was sending this man to the bank, man. The man was supposed to went to the bank the next day. when we know that day was a Sunday? So how was he going to go to the bank? And I got the receipts. I just ain't played yet. I got the receipts when Stacks was on the phone with a certain individual. A certain individual was explaining what Stack Bundles was mentioning about Jim Jones and this money that never came nowhere near Stacks. And I find it very odd and very strange that Stack Bundles was getting ready. They said when he went to the studio to meet Jim Jones that night, and Jim Jones was supposed to have that money, it kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. He told Jim Jones he was out. He was leaving Bird Gang. He's done with Bird Gang. Said he's about to go do a deal with Wayne. Stacks went to the club. They said there was some Dipset members in the club. Allegedly, okay, they say it was see something here, man. Cause like I said, I've been through a lot. I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. Okay? See something here. Something somebody sent me. As it says, man. All right. I got a lot of information on this shit, man. All right. Jim Jones had Stack killed because Jim Jones didn't want to pay Stack Bundles the money he owed Stack for the song Ballin'. Okay? Hit the like button. Strategic drop. One of the best to do this. Say the best for last. And y'all wait. Wait till I come with more strategic information with this, with Pimp C, and a lot more other shit, including the Julio Fulio situation that's going to fuck shit up. Okay? But as it says, Jim Jones had Stack killed because Jim Jones didn't want to pay Stack Bundles the money he owed Stack for the song Ballin'. And like the detective said, whoever killed Stack was in the club that night with him. Was in the club with him to be able to wait for Stack to get home to know he was going home. And Stack had ran into Dipset in the club. And he was talking to Freaky Zeke before he left and notified Jim Jones. You see this, right? You see this, right? He was talking to Freaky Zeke before he left. And they say he notified Jim Jones that Stack was leaving, and Jim Jones had his Brooklyn Bloods kill Stack. Super big facts. I don't know how true that is. Also, Stacks was low-key dissing Jim Jones on a few rap songs before he was killed, and Jim Jones knew that as well. Super big facts. So yes, Jim Jones had Stack Bundles killed because he didn't want to pay Bundles for balling. And Jim Jones wanted to take all the credit for that song. Also, Jim Jones was still in Stack's fashion and swag. We're going to get into a lot more of this. Okay? I'm going to be the one to set fire to this situation, man. And I believe it's going to catch a lot of fire. Okay? Due to the fact Max B is on his way home. Little under a month, Mel Murder just came home. You know what I'm saying? The Bird Gang is complete. Stack Bundles about to start speaking from the grave on shit, bro. He wrote everything, not just balling, image, style, everything. It's where a lot of people actually Believe. So yeah, man. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. Shout out my endorsers and my sponsors of the show. Angela for the $5, Paula Hall for the $10, and the Journey Ascends for the $5 endorsement and super sticker, super chat, man. Anybody sending any cash apps, man? Those would be well appreciated too, man. Those would be well appreciated too, man. Any cash apps, any PayPals would definitely be appreciated. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation and everybody that's up in here, man. All right. I appreciate y'all, man. Verdia Williams. Wherever you at, I appreciate your cash app that you sent last week, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the 5 starters, hawkers, walkers, and stalkers, man. That's been rocking with GFTV, man. If y'all send any PayPals, thank you, man. The PayPals are much appreciated. If y'all send any Chime handle is the same as the Cash App handle. Godfear316 at Chime. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody that rock with me this morning, man. I mean, I'm gonna try to get consistent on this morning show thing. See how this rock out. Now I mean, because I feel as though, now I mean, a lot of people had dropped the ball on this morning wave situation, man. You know what I mean? And I want to get the grand rising back to where it used to be and how it should be, man. You know what I mean? But shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation. I appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Always remember, fear the fire and fear the flames. And like I said, man, listen here. We all know how these situations always go. We know when a motherfucker's into it with somebody in the street, when they got that active beef in the street, and when they have another active situation with somebody else or somewhere in the industry, we know how the industry and people in the industry capitalize off of those situations, right? Right? We know how the industry and people in the industry will capitalize off of those situations and make it into something that is really not and try to blame the street politics for it when the whole time they allegedly behind the whole shit. Now, like I'm saying, man, Jones is the one that had Stack lined up, had him set up. Stack was about to put Jimmy on blast. Not only was he about to put Jimmy on blast, he was leaving Bird Game. He had left Bird Game that night. He left Bird Game. That last night in the club. That last night in the club. In that meeting that he just had with Jim Jones at that studio, y'all. He told Jim Jones he was done. He was out. And not only that, I got the receipts. I got the receipts. Okay? So we gonna be dropping that shit and we gonna set fire to this shit, man. Far Rockaway's very own Stack Bundles. Okay, RIP, RIP, Lionel Pickens too. Chinks. That was Stack Bundles' little man. RIP, both of them. Know what I mean? Because Chinks Drugs even said, check it out. Okay? He said Since they killed Stack in front of his building, I relocated my children. I hope his shooter step forward and make his debut appearance. Okay? That was Chink's words in Paranoid. The Paranoid remix, right? Check it out. Show y'all this now. Okay? Since they killed Stack in front of his building, I relocated my children. Hope his shooter step forward and make his debut appearance. All right? And not too long after this situation, okay, Chinks was also knocked down in Queens, okay, a week before his album came out. All right, and they tried to blame that on the jail situation, but this shit is deeper than what y'all think, because a lot of people have no idea that Chinks Drugs also approached Jim Jones when he came home too, about, yo, what's up with my man? What's up with my man? Meaning, bro, like, what's up with that bag? What's up with that bread that you owe Stacks Bundle and his estate, nigga, that you never came up off of? Know what I mean? So we got a lot of shit to be dropping, bro. We got a lot of shit to be dropping over here, man. Know what I mean? But like, share, subscribe. Anybody got any questions before we get up out of here, man? Anybody got any questions, man? Shout out the whole nation, man. And trust me, I haven't forgot about the Pimp C situation. All right, we gonna get right back to that. Cause I got shit ain't nobody got on that. All right, we gonna pick up right where we left off from. It's just gonna be strategic. Trust me. Yep. And look, check it out. Check it out, man. I told y'all what was about to happen, man. Look at that, man. Check it out, yo. Okay. So, man, I'm about to be getting, well, already got a whole lot of information on that. I got to go through that as well, because we've been breaking down that situation with the New Dallas artists and what's going on with Zillionaire, CMG, and how they brought the feds in, how the feds is still listening, how the feds is still watching. And I told y'all they're going to pluck all these niggas off one by one. Didn't I? Didn't I? Montana 700 got the record deal, right? Why y'all still in Dallas every day doing nothing? Why y'all record label got y'all in these little ass fucking clubs so y'all can get all shot up and shit? Why y'all ain't selling out arenas and shit? See what I'm saying? Niggas ain't got as much money as y'all think they got. They got a lot of money to a motherfucker who ain't got shit. A motherfucker who don't know what money is about. A motherfucker who don't know what financial stability is about. A motherfucker who just see the money, it's a lot to them. But a motherfucker who know what to do with money, it's not a lot of money to a motherfucker who know what to do with it. And a motherfucker who know what to do with some money won't be sitting around in Dallas all day fucking long doing nothing. Nigga, I'm out. I'm not coming back to Dallas. Why you still in Dallas? Why Zillionaire Doe? Hustle Man Keys. Zillionaire. Why they still in Dallas? It makes no sense. But y'all got all this money and all this and all that. You said you made it out. If you made it out, why the fuck you still in Dallas? You ain't make it out of nowhere. You still in the same environment for the police to fuck with you. You still in the same environment for the police to harass you. You still in the same environment for a nigga to rob you, line you up, knock you down. You still in that same environment because you still tied and attached to that fucking dope game, nigga. Rap game ain't paying you enough. Yeah, the bag is big at first, but it ain't consistent if you don't know what to do with your money. These niggas don't know what to do with their money. They'd rather buy 1,000 Air Force Ones, 100 pair of Jordans and shit like that. Okay, a real wealthy nigga got one pair of shoes, nigga, that he wear every fucking day. A real wealthy man got on the cheapest clothes you ever see a day in your fucking life. For some reason, you know everything he got on. It's not costly, but you know he got that money though. Ain't that something? Because the persona, the way a motherfucker carry they sell, you know that they financially stable. It's not about what you got on. What you got on don't make you financially stable or don't give a impression that you financially stable either. That's all the fucking gimmick. But like, share, subscribe, always remember, fear the fire, fear the flames. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Shout out Indian Summer, Journey of Sins, Nappy, okay, Angela. Thank you, man. All the new people that came in and joined too, man. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Always remember, fear the fire, fear the flames, man. We up out of here, yo.
Fear the fire.